right. Well, we all are so excited about November, so I'm excited we get to be here together. And I'm just kidding. And I do think it's a great time to connect with one another, even though I'm sure it's been a long day for everyone. And somehow it's November 1st for the love. So here we go. Melissa, do you have anything you want to say early on, or are we going right to product? No,
I
you're.
do. I
Oh,
do. I just wanted to give a shout out to people who had enrollments last month. Way to go. And we had 3 people with 1 enrollment and 1 person with 2 enrollments. So the 1 enrollment crowd is Monica Kreplin, Laura Shields, and Hannah Dobbins. So I just want to say, way to go, guys. And Amy Baumett's had 2. So it's always fun to open up for these calls and look at those numbers on like 30 seconds before the call. But really, way to go, guys. I'm sure you enjoy. There's still a monetary bonus with an enrollment, isn't there?
Well, fast start.
But I mean, beyond that.
Yeah, depends on what your rank is and stuff.
Yeah, so way to go, guys.
All right, let's go to our specials for this month. Laura Whip is doing the product of the month for us.
Woohoo! So this month it's clove. And Amy, how did you find that out so many days ahead? Usually it's like the day before, but we somehow got informed by you a couple of days ahead this time. So that was cool.
They're telling us sooner and sooner. I'm not like I didn't pull any special strings, so but I thought it was really nice.
Yeah, you know some really important people though. So I don't know. Anyway, I was just surprised that we got to find out about it kind of early. And I want to dive right in, but in a direction I don't often think to go to first, and that's the emotional properties of clove. Yes, clove has some. Clove is the oil of boundaries, and it supports people who are overly influenced by other people and circumstances and maybe want to let go of that victim mentality. Clove can help us feel confident and capable making our own choices and feel confident in self-advocating and being proactive rather than reactive. So if you've been damaged from childhood pain, trauma, and or abuse, clove can help you restore your sense of self and articulate your own needs. Clove also supports us in our desire to set healthy boundaries. So wow, amen to that. It's really important to know about clove's emotional properties, and getting free clove just seems to be really timely. This is the time of year for many who might be reliving pain from the past. The holidays can just be so difficult to navigate for so many of us. And I'm not sure that we give clove the attention it deserves. So it's kind of an unsung hero on the emotional side. Little bit of clove history. Traditionally, clove bud essential oil has been used to cleanse, manage pain and abrasions, and support healthy respiration and digestion. This goes back to ancient China. And now some physical properties of clove. It has a sweet and spicy aroma. It's one of the most powerful essential oils, so you want to be sure to dilute it. And that sweet and spicy aroma makes it a really invigorating aroma, so it's great to diffuse. And it happens to be part of the On Guard blend, so you could diffuse On Guard, or you could just diffuse clove alone. And clove actually comes from the flower buds of an evergreen tree. One of the main chemical constituents in clove is the beta caryophyllene, which is a sesquiterpene, and it's one. It helps reduce inflammation. It helps soothe colitis. It helps with the pain of arthritis. Helps with anxiety and depression, and it has some synergy with some cancer medications that help suppress tumor growth. Clove also supports really great dental health and can ease discomfort in the mouth. So now, how about a fun fact about clove? Clove gets its name from the Latin word clavis, which means nail. This is a really fitting name since clove buds actually resemble small tacks or nails. And clove is $20 at wholesale, and so we get it free this month with a 125 PV order. Yay!
Thanks, Laura Whip. I thought you did a really good job covering like a clove it is an unsung hero. That's the truth of it. I saw an interesting comment that wasn't take it or leave it in one of the leader groups that was like, who are the people that pick the products of the month? And actually, and I think my mom saw the comment too, separate, like, isn't it funny how that happens? And I think she's has some posts that are gonna go up in Fierce Oilers, but Jennifer Brady, like very lovingly was like, well, listen up. I've got some stuff to tell you about clove. It's actually a really big deal to get free. So I think that I don't necessarily fall strongly in one camp or the other, but I loved her take on, no, listen up, this is what it's good for, and some really powerful uses for it. So thank you for helping us with that too, Laura Whip. Sonia is going to help us with Myrrh, the 10% off product.
Okay, thank you. I'm just finishing up my notes here. I got to go back to my Oil of the Bible days. I just went and did a search in my whole like notes from that, and I was like, oh yeah, oh my gosh. Okay, so I have a little bit to share about that, and then I'll get into some of the other uses and properties. But myrrh is by far the most decorated oil in the Bible. Ancient records show that myrrh was deemed so valuable that at times it was valued at its weight in gold. Myrrh essential oil is derived from the gummy resin of the small thorny myrrh tree. Myrrh has been used throughout history as a perfume and incense. It was also employed in embalming and religious ceremonies. Myrrh has powerful cleansing properties, and it's also soothing to the skin, promoting a smooth, youthful-looking complexion. And it's why it would have been used in the beauty rituals of Queen Esther. So unlike other products from trees, it isn't the wood that is used, but the resin that comes from it. Once exposed to air, it hardens and can be powdered, used as is, or now distilled for essential oil. So if y'all wonder why you can't get your tops off your myrrh bottle, that would explain it. And then interestingly, myrrh and frankincense essential oils have a synergistic effect when combined, each improving the other's antimicrobial benefits. So could also be why I think those are combined into like an anointing oil. If you ever Google like anointing oil, you'll usually find like frankincense, myrrh, and spikenard in there. And I think Miranda did a little blurb on her Facebook about anointing your homes and that kind of thing too this week. So some ways to use it. One of my favorite uses is in my Galantine Glow or Glow Up Serum, whatever you want to call it. And that recipe is, I posted it in Fierce Oilers, I think this week actually, not even knowing that myrrh was going to be one of the special oils of the month. But anyways, so the best way, I guess, to figure out like amounts would be figure out how much yarrow palm you have that you want to put into the serum. And then, so like I had used, when they had those Christmas or travel bottles or whatever that was last time, they're not quite as big as the big ones. They were smaller. So I took that, and then you take about that same amount of rosehip oil and then figure out whatever you have for milliliters there. And then whatever number of milliliters you have is how many drops of each oil you're going to use. So then you're going to do, so say you had a 30 milliliter bottle, then you'll do 30 drops of lavender, 30 spikenard, 30 myrrh, and 30 blue tansy. And then that's, of course, into that myrrh and rosehip oil. So if you have questions or whatever about figuring out the oil math, let me know. But I love, love, love. I have so missed it, and I really like that serum. What else was I going to say about that? Oh, and if you use the doTERRA face mask, I love to use myrrh on my face after. It's been a long time since I've done that, but it just reminded me of that too. And then some cuticle hacks. There's 2 different ways you could use it. So just fractionated coconut oil and myrrh, like you could even probably just get even like the myrrh roller, but or make yourself one. But it's great for cuticles. I have a recipe for strong nails. So into a roller bottle, you would do 5 lavender, 5 tea tree, 5 myrrh, and 2 frankincense. A myrrh mouthwash. So into 16 ounces of water, you would add 5 drops of peppermint, 5 drops of myrrh. But as we learned tonight, you could totally add clove to that for Laura's recommendation for mouth stuff. And then I have a diffuser blend, Murray Cozy. So you could do 3 myrrh, 2 vanilla, and 1 cinnamon. I think that sounds very lovely. So that's all I have.
Sonia, Amy said maybe you could just come here and make it for me. And I was thinking we should all just road trip because, like, you know, Minnesota is so beautiful in November. I've been there in November and
Oh my
I
gosh,
think
it
it'd be
is.
really fun. I'm on my way.
Party.
I found a picture of like you and I at that holiday thing we did the other day.
Fun
Must
times.
have been about this time.
Yeah, it was. It was the occasional shops. Beautiful.
So thank you, Laura and Sonia. I feel like, yeah, so be thinking about your people who are focusing on their skin this time of year. That's kind of everyone as it gets dry, or people who are facing difficult, like maybe childhood memories or painful things as they head into holidays with clove, immune boosting, really with both of them. I love myrrh's tip from Dr. Axe about myrrh on the top of your mouth. So different things, myrrh for scars, you know, in that skin. So there's just a lot of different uses. So be thinking about your people and the people that are in your life and community who might be helped by that, and yourself too, right? Use them for yourselves. Okay, I have a couple things that I just wanted to touch on. It was cute. Whitney not only asked about the diffuser at breakfast. I don't know if she was like November 1st. She was really tracking, but she was like, "Are there BOGOs, Mom?" And I was like, "Wow, Whit, I have really." She's like completely in the cult, but I think that we should all be aware that there's a strong likelihood that BOGOs will happen as we get. It's always that Monday that our monthly call is. I'm sorry, that's just like doTERRA is copying me. I just want you to know it's their fault, not mine. But and just remember, I would keep a loose mindset because they have been shifting them, I think, in positive ways just every time. They've been mixing it up. So, you know, have an idea of who you might be contacting. That's always good. It doesn't really matter how they mix it up. You want to know who you'd be talking to, potential versus as well as current customers. And just be aware. I know nothing. I genuinely don't. Nothing has been said to me besides what Whitney said. Okay, and unless she has a direct line to Emily Wright, but I don't think she does up in her bedroom. So new products. Everything is here but the MetaPower Recharge. Remember the PB, the ProBiome products went live today. And I want to show you, there's so many new fun things in my account. Like I knew some of them were coming, but we're actually going to look at some of those because I'm like, it's easier than me trying to explain them. Holiday items are live. Remember that some of them are staggered. I've got the link to the digital catalog in the chat in case you wanted to look at it that way. But what I'm just going to do here. Okay. And also maybe I'm just like way out of it, which is also possible. So I kind of like that when you hover over your name now, you can see I just used all my rewards points, but you can see rewards points and account credit right there. And I know that the wish list has been there for a while, but I'm going to go into my loyalty order. And I still just think it's so bomb that when I play around with my cart and I'm like, oh, I'm going to like save that or whatever, I can just hit add to wish list. And that just really kind of makes my life super easy. So what I really want to highlight is the way they've shifted the Lifelong Vitality add-ons. So like when I went to and look at this is so nice here right across the top to be able to see. I don't know, it's just nice. The browse the catalog button. I feel like there's been some nice changes. I appreciate what they've done here. So I don't know if you guys noticed when you ordered your vitamins this morning, this all looks similar. Birch, I was new. Had anyone else seen Birch? Have I missed that? Okay, look, Birch for $33. I'm like, I used to fly to convention for $8,500, and look at my Lifelong Vitality add-on. My, how the times have changed. So, but then you have to push one more time because I was like, where are my PB products? And so I really like that you have the option of the PB Restore or both of them together. Okay, that's some good stuff right there. Good stuff. And then it's going to take you right back to the beginning. Quiz question. Who knows what they did with MetaPower that's new? It's I would call it a new product. Did you guys catch it? Sonia did.
I got it.
MetaPower. Go ahead, Sonia.
The assist, right, is now in like 120 capsules.
120 count. So if your whole fam bam needs to take it, you're going to get the 120 count. Look at that puppy right there. Look at it. Beautiful. $99.50, but MetaPower Assist 120 count. Okay. So that is a new permanent product launch that came out today. Very interesting. Not necessarily related to this, but just a friendly reminder that seasons are changing and it's a good time to flip over to your business website, mydoterra.com/your name. And to like mine should no longer say my summer must-haves. It's on my list tomorrow to fix it. But to make some links in here, you can easily edit this in your back office. And maybe you want like, it's not really back to school, but maybe it's your holiday must-haves or, you know, different things. We were talking, my mom and I talked with Amy Kroll, and I just think what we came up with so good. It was like, I mean, I don't know if we can say the anxiety, you know, kit, but anyway, that the idea would be that the adaptive products are your daytime support for overall mental well-being, and Serenity is your evening support. So if you're trying to explain to somebody, I realize that they can be used synergistically, but if you're just trying to say, here is your 24/7 support, adaptive during the day and Serenity at night. And so pick what works for you and what you want to connect with people on, but take some time to edit these links and then support your people with them or talk about them, you know? Okay. I'm going to stop sharing on that. And I'm going to let Melissa share a little bit about some enrollment kit changes.
Hi, okay, so they increased 4 of the enrollment kits by $3. I did not check to see what the PV difference is, but the 4 were the Natural Solutions enrollment kit, Healthy Habits enrollment kit, Healthy Habits non-enrollment kit. Like if you want to do the cleanse, I am going to be doing the cleanse from the doTERRA cleanse from November 15th to December 15th. And I just happened to have some things on hand enough that I didn't need to buy the set. But if you did, that would be a great way to do the cleanse and the cleanse and restore. I did notice that the PV are all like nice normal numbers. Like they all end in 5s. It just kind of makes sense to my brain when you're sharing with somebody. So I just wanted to point that out, that there were some price changes.
Thanks, Mom. And Sonia put in the chat, and she's right. I just checked the team app. The bubble diffuser, the tinted lip gloss, and the cinnamon drops are 50% sold out. Everything else is good. They'll tell us when it bumps up to 75%. Thank you, Sonia, for that. Okay, Empowered Success Call is very interesting this month. It's the 6th. 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, but their topic is emotional well-being with essential oils. And they have a couple different wellness advocate sharings. Okay, wellness advocate leaders and co-authors of Facing the Waves, Working Through Grief with Essential Oils and Stories of Hope. The panel will discuss how essential oils can provide emotional and mental support during times of challenge, grief, and uncertainty. I've never heard of the book. I didn't necessarily like really recognize some of the names of the people sharing, but that doesn't matter. I think it sounds really good. So I'm putting the link to register. Be okay? Okay. To register in the chat box for that. And remember, the recording will go up too. We have 3 more Level Up Your Life classes to get through, and we've made it through our fall swing of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who has helped tackle those classes. We appreciate so much the time and effort that goes into getting that education out to our entire oil community. We've got Jerry with hormones, I think, this week. And then Laura Whip, I think is Lindsay's the nutrition line, and Laura Whip, are you MetaPower?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that will kind of round out our Level Up Your Life series. And as we get closer, we did a spring round, and we'll talk about that as we get there on a subsequent leader call. Our November monthly call is on the 20th, and it's gift giving. And I just feel like Lindsay and Laura should run the whole call. But I made a sign up sheet with I don't even think I put ideas down. I was just like, I don't even know. So put in what you think. Remember, this could be a DIY. This could be like, I think this oil is a great gift, and this is why you would give it, and you don't have to make anything with it. This could be a holiday product. That's totally legit. So if you want to just pick a holiday product and share on it, great. So that is there for you. And then I asked Lindsay King, she wasn't able to be with us last month, but she was just going to share some of her like highlights and takeaways from convention. And she's also attended some like post-convention gatherings, and I think gleaned a lot of really valuable things. So Lindsay, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Okay, so I know Mer went to convention, but have any of you guys had a chance to do a post-convention tour? No, okay. So I don't want to like beat a dead horse if you guys have already done it, but I was super excited because at convention, one of my biggest takeaways, and I did tell Mer this when I was there, was in the product showcase, the business team had talked about how moving forward events wise, they're going to structure it a little bit differently. And it really just made more sense to my brain. And so they were focused on specifically corporate events, but I think it's going to roll out into more in the future. And so the best way that I can describe this is simple and pyramid. So I don't know if you guys know how many levels of the doTERRA health pyramid there is. Do any of you guys know? Laura says 6. Okay. Amy says 8. Yes. Okay. So there's 6 levels of the doTERRA health pyramid. And I should turn on my light so you guys can see. One second. Okay, so the bottom is nutrition and digestion. Then it moves up to movement and metabolism, rest and manage stress, reducing toxicity, and then informed self-care is the 5th one, and proactive medical care is the 6th one. So it's on the doTERRA website, but the corporate event, which I did have a chance to go to the post-convention tour, they actually have like their own little guide to just for the post-convention tour. So it's not set up, I don't know how yours is in the Midwest, but it's not set up like a mini convention. It's not like a huge presentation where they did a bunch of slides of the new products. It was actually set up like a DIY mini class, which is, in my opinion, more welcoming to people who may not be interested in doing this as a business, but want to learn more about the product. May even be their first event, first chance and dip with oils, I should say. And so it was really nice because they had it set up in a way, how they described it was there's like 3 tiers. So tier 1 was you're going to focus on 1 or 2 levels of the pyramid and have a really small gathering, like 10 or less people. Tier 2 would be 1 to 3 levels of the pyramid that you're focusing on at the event. And you would have 2 or 3 tables. Each table would have like 6 people, and you would do something there. And then corporate size event would be 50 or more, focusing on all levels of the pyramid. And it was really structured in a DIY type concept, which appeals to me. I like that style. But it wasn't in a way that was overwhelming. And so I did take some pictures at convention, and I took pictures at the post-convention tour that I wanted to show you. I don't know if they're going to translate as well on the phone. So let's see how it goes. And if not, I'll just describe it. But this was, I don't know if you can get the color in there, but each table had like 4 or 5 placemats with a color from the color of the pyramid. And then they had, I want to call it a charcuterie board of like 1 or 2 highlighted products or oils. And then 1 stand of like either a fun fact or science description. So anyone could linger and meander through the different tables and learn about oils passively, if that was their style of learning that they preferred, or they could willingly participate in a leader-led little group through the DIY. And everything was focused on one level of the pyramid. Each station, I should say, was one level. And so obviously at the post-convention tours, every level related to a convention, a newly released convention item for that level of the pyramid. You don't have to do that necessarily if you were doing this yourself, where you could just do, here's the different levels. They have suggested products for that level that are not new products. That is in the new Live Guide, by the way. And then each page of the Live Guide goes and gives more examples on how you would use that. And it was really cute because what I thought was right up my alley was like the corporate sponsored event. Like they had the little doTERRA symbols on all the things. So this was self-care, and we made our own lotion. Super simple. You have the lotion, and then you had like 2 or 3 oils that you would suggest, and talking about layering and talking about the different healthcare products. And so you could have some of your product displayed on the table of like, here's other things in this category that people could ask questions about. Or you could literally just focus on this one they did, the Shinrin Yoku. So it was like way to do lotion and Shinrin Yoku for forest bathing. So then the next layer was the metabolism layer. And so they had these cute little doTERRA bottles, which I don't know if you can see like for reference size, but it was literally enough to do 1 sachet. And it had the little mixer spring in it. So again, I thought that was super cute. Doesn't have to be that involved. You could just do a Dixie cup. And so it was a way to try or get your hands on new product and do it. You don't have to use a lot of product to do it. The next one was rest and relaxation. So they had, again, pre-printed these little pouches, and you made bath salts out of the new Serenity. They had the valerian there for you to smell. They just so happened that a person in the team at the training that I was at was a personal trainer. So in their activity layer and physical health, we actually got the doTERRA bands to do like a physical activity. And then they had samples from convention of the like balance in one of those sachets that you can get from Oil Life, where you close it with the heater. They had balance, or you could choose Deep Blue to do in this little session. And then every session provided by doTERRA has information. So it was color coded again, everything on the table. So physical education was the blue section of the pyramid. It had a blue information sheet that everyone gets to take home. It had a blue sample. It related to something on the blue page in the Reclaim Your Health guide. And I thought it was like super simple. Like I said, I feel like anyone, even if you're not doing the business, if I wanted to like host a party or do a DIY, or I had someone who's new to oils and I said, hey, can you bring 2 or 3 people together? Like, I feel like this is not overwhelming to someone to be like, what area of the pyramid do you think your guests would be most interested in learning about? And I could easily pull together samples from something specific in that realm of product. Or if you did a corporate event or something, larger, you could get some of the leaders to maybe donate something from that category so that you could sample. In the section where it had nutrition, they had like the fiber and the fiber, the protein. They had the greens. They had the PB restore items. They had the sachets, all for people to try. They had the Terrazyme. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and then I feel like the hardest one to me out of this new one, just because I feel less comfortable with it probably, would be the highest tier where it's the proactive medical care, because it's harder to demonstrate. That one is my opinion. So in this instance at the post-convention tour that I went to, they did it as testimonials. Here's how I broached conversation with my doctor. Here's what they recommended. Potentially, here's what I did instead, came up, and here was the results. Or here's a conversation I had with my doctor and they noticed results. And so they said, keep doing what you're doing. So that was kind of like that rotation part of it for, it's not really spelled out in here. So that would be one of my feedbacks. My other one personally would be and I did speak to someone over at corporate and they like, oh, that's a really good idea. Let's kind of lean into that as we do more post-convention tours and see how it goes. But the class in a box, if it was kind of geared in a way to focus on each level, because right now I like the samples. I love and I still buy those fairly often. But I think if they had it similar setup to this and they had one of these guides and maybe still the live guide for everyone that comes, but they had something focused on each level in their samples. I just thought that was really cool. And like I said, not overwhelming. I feel like you don't have to do the business to do a DIY. You don't have to be a DIY person to do this type of style. So, and then I liked everything because everything was coordinated. So like I said, the placemats in the corporate setting, all the things on the rest were purple placemats and purple labels. So I just thought that appeals to me. But other than that, like, it was super exciting. I like doing it. So we had a good turnout.
Thanks, Linz. Yeah, I totally missed that shift. So I'm glad that you were able to like experience it in different ways and relay that to us. That's very interesting. Yeah. What if I was like, tell me, customer, what is one product or one thing out of this pyramid you'd like to focus on? And they'd be like, informed self-care. And I'd be like, next.
Well, and here's
Pick
something.
a different level.
So here's something. I wonder if I can take pictures and like share it to our text group so you guys can see at least on this book, because it's not, I think you have to go to the post-convention tour. Maybe they'll open up and give it to other people. But one of the ones that was kind of interesting to me was we've all seen something I feel like similar to the wellness checklist where, convert some of the things that you're buying into doTERRA. However, on the flip side of the chart of the pyramid, they have the wellness lifestyle assessment, same concept. However, it breaks down the two categories in each level. So like digestion and nutrition. And I'll just give you an example. So for digestion, it said, I'm free of digestive comfort is one thing. I don't struggle with food sensitivities. I make sure to include prebiotic and probiotic foods in my diet at least twice weekly. And you rate yourself on that. And then it goes into the nutrition, 3 questions, movement, 3 questions, metabolism, 3 questions, and you kind of rate yourself and you put your score over in the empty boxes. And so you see, so that would be another way to like speak to setting someone up with a protocol or saying what type of event would you like to host or what areas of the pyramid would you like to focus on, by having them do this questionnaire and say, oh, I didn't realize I was so off. I thought I was doing rest really well, but I'm not. And then it recommends to you at the bottom things that you can do not related to product. And then you flip the pages and go into product that could help you with that. So I just thought, I thought it was really well thought out and laid out. And I can tell that the team, the business team and leadership really did put a lot of thought into this. And I'd hope they do expand it beyond the corporate events, because I thought that was really cool.
Mm. Thanks, Linz. If you guys have further questions, we'll reach out to Lindsay or, we can bounce it back. I'm going to bounce it to Mer so she can help us wrap it up.
Okay, guys, as always, we're going to take a deep breath because, we got to shift. We are getting information, and Lindsay, that was amazing. And I wish I could learn more from you. So I hope we learn more. Take a deep breath here. There's a few things, 2 things I think that really spoke to me the last couple of weeks. from mentors I follow and people I follow. I feel like it would be good to redefine success and what success looks like for you. And I would say business, because we're all leaders here, business leaders. I would say that, but I guess make it fit how you want it to fit. But what does success look like to you? Let's redefine that, because we're coming into November and December in the next 60 some days, I think, whatever, of the year. And it is time to downshift as far as like looking at what goals, if you want, what goals you like, what goals did you set in the beginning of the year? I can't find my notebook that I set those goals, so I'm just saying, try to find it. What goals I rock, what goals did you set in the beginning of the year? I'm gonna find it, but I have like 3 different notebooks. And then if you don't have that, let's redefine success for you. What does success look like? Okay. Now, for the rest of the year, I want you to fill in the blank whenever you have time, your journal time, whatever. My number one goal for the rest of the year is, and let's simplify it down to what's your number one goal for the rest of the year. Make it fit however it is. Kids, work, family, or set a number one goal for all the kids, work, family, whatever you want to do. But what's like simplifying? I like the word simplify. It's just really speaking to me right now. So what does success look like? Let's redefine that. And redefine it, because we change throughout the year. We're not the same people we were when we started 2023 for shizzle. We're not the same person. And then the second one is my number one goal for the rest of the year. I want to see if I have anything else, because it might be important. I guess here's the thing. I'm not sure where you guys are at in your business or in life and everything. So I'm just going to speak as a whole here, as it's important to understand that, I don't know, I feel like this is a really cool time in our lives and in the earth and in the world to really buckle down and figure out what you want to create in the new year. But like, don't go overboard on this and go like perfectionism on me. What do you want to create in the new year? Because the seeds we sow in November, December, January, let's say, is what we'll see February, March, April, May, June, July. Okay. And I really feel like that came to my awareness the last couple months, I think, as far as like, man, I want these instant results, and I want to see these instant results in any area of life. We don't have to have it be in our doTERRA business, but I'm kind of speaking to business right now, because we're business leaders and business owners and the CEOs of our realm and our world and our company and our family. And family is actually like business, by the way. But when it comes to like, the seeds we're sowing now is what we'll see, and the fruit we'll reap in the future, in the few couple months. So what do you want to create for your new year? And I'm really getting, this is like November, December is a time to look back, reflect, Thanksgiving, gratitude, and everything like that. What does success look like? What's one goal that you have for the rest of the year? And I'll read that in a second, Laura. And then what do you want to create in the year to come? I just feel like really there's a mandate from the Lord, but also just like a beckoning I'm hearing of creating your life in him. Like, what does he have for you? Like, let's reach for those goals. Let's set some goals that, are outside of our comfort zone a little bit. Let's get uncomfortable being uncomfortable, get comfortable being uncomfortable, and really see growth, but again, whatever's speaking to you and landing for you, it might not be the season for you, but that's just what I'm feeling led to share. Laura, I'm going to look at your comment now. Okay, so that's just, we can all read and get blessed from that.
Mhm.
Good, Lindsay. Yeah, thanks for the feedback, guys. That's great. Yeah,
Mhm.
intentionally. And you can, Lindsay, if you want, you don't have to, but anybody who sets like these, how Lindsay's like, I want to create intentionality. I think intentionally helping me make others feel seen. Put a reminder in your phone, or when you guys come up with like a couple of things, I don't know, I have or like 3 reminders, and I only do this once in a while. I don't want to be overwhelmed, but you could put a reminder in your phone to like bring it front and center. It's called brain triggers, and they're really helpful to go intentionally help make others feel seen. And if there's another word for that, I have no clue, but you can put it somewhere where, and you guys can pick that up if you want. But yeah, Laura and Lindsay, that's great feedback. Thank you.
Overachievers coming up with their things right away. Just kidding. Awesome. Okay, Mer. Okay. I want to thank everyone who was on and shared. We appreciate you. I will put the sign up sheet in the text group. I will stay on for a couple minutes for Project Broadcast. If anybody has anything, I've got actually a template that went out today that responded really well. And I do have an idea for something, 2 ideas for later this month. So look at me go. If you need to sign off, do that. You guys are great. I'll awkwardly sit here to see if anyone's going to stay on.